everybody, and welcome here to our weekly NASCAR Talk episode. Today we are covering the results of Daytona and looking forward to this week's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'm being joined by Michael Norman and Charles Belding. How you guys doing?
Hello. Sick.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's jump right into it with the Daytona 500. Did either of you guys see the finish shaping up that we ended up having?
No, I knew something was going to happen. I mean, I was hoping to God that Kansas wasn't going to win like that. I was hoping it'd be at least exciting. But, and I'm kind of glad it was. And as we saw the finish that we had, and I was really pulling for Truex. Now I'm not happy. I mean, I'm not like mad at the way it finished out, but I was really pulling for Truex.
I was too.
I was really surprised that we had a finish that close after what I kind of thought was kind of, in a way, just like a blah most of the race, kind of. Like, it wasn't like, I wouldn't consider it like super bad, but it wasn't like super spectacular either. It was just like somewhere like right in the middle. And throughout most of the race, it was so hard for a second line to just, the second line, especially on the outside, to just form like that. I was surprised that on the final lap it did, and we got that incredible close finish. And like you said, both of you said, I was hoping that Truex got it, but I'm content with him winning it.
And this reminded the 500, especially the first half, even most of the second half, reminded me so much of Can-Am Duel number 2 when Joe Gibbs Racing lined up. There was no second line that could be formed because none of those Joe Gibbs cars were going to step out of line. And obviously, with the alliance of Toyota with Truex, he along with the Joe Gibbs Racing cars, they had the low line. They determined how the race went. So I was really shocked that it ended up being that close to finish. With the fact that you had all those Toyotas up there, I was seeing it shaping up as they were going to ride around, they were going to work together to block any second line that might try to form, and you were going to see something like that. I wasn't expecting it to be Hamlin, the guy that stepped out and basically was able to cut through all of his teammates to win the thing.
Very true.
And I guess it's just also worth just pointing out that I think compared to last year, I think we are already, in my opinion, on track for what could be a very good season based on that photo finish. It's a good start to the season.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. I mean, last year's Daytona 500 to me, it was good racing, but the finish was a letdown as far as I'm concerned. And the way that they were able to race hard yet clean, and we actually didn't have a wreck there in the closing stages. I mean, Kenseth made one heck of a save, and you know that brought back the excitement of the finish for a Daytona 500 for me, because you know you had the caution last year, and Logano wins the race, and it's just kind of like you got this buildup of we're gonna have a great finish, and then it just deflates with the caution flag coming out. So I agree with you, Charles. I think that that's a sign, hopefully, that this is going to be a lot better of a NASCAR season than we had last year. And we got Johnny Gardner.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Oh, shoot, I hit the wrong button. I'm trying to find the stream link so I can post it on Facebook. Okay, so,
you had one job.
I know. So we had our dark horse picks and everything last week heading into Daytona. Who for you guys was the dark horse in that race? Who was the one that surprised you with the finish they got?
Truex.
Regan Smith.
Yeah, Regan Smith for me too. That car was boiling over the last 5 laps, good lord. I just kept seeing this steam pouring out down the back straightaway the whole time. Like, who is? Oh, that's Regan Smith.
And because he got a top 10, kids eat free.
Exactly. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But I was also actually a little bit surprised there with Kyle Larson, because if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the driver I picked last week to stay away from, because it just seemed like every single time he comes to Daytona, something always seems to happen, and he ended up getting his, I think it was a top 10 finish, so that was actually a surprise to me too. And I just want to point out, last week I picked Denny Hamlin to win the Daytona 500. Guess who didn't put him on any of his fantasy teams, though?
You.
Me. Didn't I picked him and I never put him on my fantasy teams.
Good job, Seth.
Good going. You had
So I
one
don't even take my
responsibility.
own advice, apparently.
You had one job, and you blew the one job.
Oh well. What can I say?
What can I say?
did-
You blew your responsibilities. Now cut it out. Put it. Come on now.
I'd love to know if anybody actually did win that. What was it? $1.5 million for that Fox Daytona 500 fantasy thing.
I didn't win it.
No.
I picked Dale Hardier to win it, and of course he
That's
crashed.
what I was thinking. I'm thinking probably 99.8% of the people that put a team together picked Dale Earnhardt Jr. and it just died as soon as he spun.
I know Stanford won $50 off of that.
There are a
Well,
couple of people I know that
though.
didn't pick Jr., but they ended up picking Chase Elliott. So
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and that actually brings me to a topic that I think is has been discussed throughout the NASCAR community, and that is, should NASCAR get rid of the grass? Yes or no?
No, I like the grass in the Troy Oval. It's what makes Daytona Daytona.
well, I mean, you got grass in a lot of other places too. You got grass at Charlotte,
They need
which
to get
has
rid of, what they need to do is get rid of the splitter.
yeah.
That's
I
what's
mean,
kicking
I
into
don't-
the damn grass.
I honestly don't have a problem with the grass. I mean,
It's
the
a
grass
lot.
has been there for a long time. I do think that it was a good decision paving the exit of Turn 2.
Agreed.
Because the grass, a lot of times, will not kill momentum as easily, and that's why we had a lot of drivers hitting the inside wall off of 2. But as far as the grass area on the front straightaway, I mean, that's classic Daytona, and it's another obstacle for the drivers to have to compete with. I honestly don't see a problem with it.
Right.
I mean, I know it ripped up Chase Elliott's car, but
That's the consequences you pay for the low ass splitter.
yeah. Well, here's the thing too. I mean, you know, if you don't swing the car like Elliott did to try and avoid the inside wall, you're going to get the grass. If you do not swing it, you know, you're going to hit the inside wall. So one way or another, that car was going to be wrecked, whether he hit grass or not.
One way or
Right.
another, he was just completely screwed.
I don't know. Either way, I just think it's just kind of annoying that like a simple spin or like a simple spin can just take you out, could just end your race.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good lord.
here's my questioning though. If they did pave it,
It was
that
ugly.
well, I don't know if it's necessarily about looks, but if they did pave it, I see more of a chance of worse wrecks taking place because, say you have a car that spins and they try and overcorrect it to avoid the inside wall, they may have enough momentum to spin right back up in front of the track in front of everybody. The grass, with it catching the splitter, kills the momentum of that car from sliding back up into the track. And Chase Elliott was running pretty close to the front of the field, so if we put this in perspective, with where he was running and the momentum he had on that spin, we don't know he wouldn't have come up and collected some cars near the tail end of the lead draft.
Exactly.
That is something I actually did not think about.
Gotta do your homework.
I don't like homework, but okay.
You lie.
Second thought.
You love homework.
No, I don't. I hate homework.
Liar.
Also, something I ended up hearing about, I actually haven't read the article yet, but apparently there was another roof flap issue for the 78 team, and as a result, crew chief Cole Pern has been put on probation till December 31st.
I think that was the same deal with the Daytona Sport.
Oh, was that still the whole thing about during qualifying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause
always-
I was thinking, did it happen a second time? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, no, it happened the one time in NASCAR. Wanted to discuss penalties about it, and they finally came to the conclusion to put Cole on probation until the end of the year.
Oh, okay, all right. And I'm kind of curious why they arrived at December 31st for the end of probation. I mean, the NASCAR
Well,
season ends in
That's
November.
clear.
No, no, it's and other guys you forgot. It's no, he's on probation until December 32nd.
Oh,
Oh,
well, then he's never gonna get out of probation. He's stuck in probation for the rest of his life.
he had one job to be crew chief for Warren Truex Jr. and he blew it. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. All day to that line.
All right, so moving on ahead from the Daytona 500, unless anybody's got any other topics they want to talk about Daytona before we move to Atlanta.
Nope.
I don't really have anything.
Okay, so moving over to Atlanta, Kurt Busch has got the pole.
Thanks in part to Kyle Busch leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only post qualifying inspection.
Speaking of which, did you guys know that he failed Xfinity post race too?
Did he really?
That's what I heard.
I didn't hear about Xfinity.
I read somewhere on Facebook that he failed it.
Good lord.
Huh. I don't.
Kyle Busch won the Xfinity Series pole. I'm reading this off of a JST, but I don't see anything about failing post qualifying inspection in the Xfinity Series.
I read somewhere, might have been somebody being like, "Oh my gosh," but I read somewhere on Facebook that it said he failed post race or post qualifying inspection in Xfinity.
Interesting. I'm trying to remember. Did Brian Scott win Rookie of the Race last week, or was that Ryan Blaney?
Blaney?
Yeah.
Was it Blaney? Okay, because Brian Scott qualified 8th for this race. That should be interesting.
Yeah, we actually have some pretty interesting names that made the final round. Trevor Bayne is going to start 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starts 5th. Brian Scott, I think, starts into the top 10. So we definitely have some interesting.
We got Trevor Bayne in 3rd. Brian Scott in 10th. Ricky Stenhouse in 5th. Austin Dillon up there in 8th.
And I think, and I saw a post on Facebook from Charles Sanford, and he said that based on what he's seeing from Rush Fenway right now, it's looking like we may end up having a kind of revival of Rush Fenway racing. They seem to finally be getting the program together, because last year it was just a horrible season for them. Do you guys think that maybe they've got it turned around and we're going to maybe see them be a more competitive team here in 2016?
They didn't really make a lot. They really made noise at Daytona, but they can't really judge
One race.
Performance over an entire season based on Daytona. And I think it's important to remember that this is just a qualifying session. It's not like the race. But I do think that seeing drivers like Trevor Bayne and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who throughout most of their Cup careers have not been towards the front. It gives me a little hope that this year could be a resurgence for Roush.
Yeah, and another thing too is there were a couple of points at Daytona where Ricky Stenhouse and Greg Biffle had actually made their way up close to the front of the field. So, the restricted plate program was actually on par there as well. And actually, we just mentioned Trevor Bayne, Ricky Stenhouse starting up in the top 5 for the race. Well, also Greg Biffle wasn't too far behind. He's going to be starting 14th. So, yeah, all 3 of those cars, I mean, it looks like they're maybe getting things turned around. And I'm almost wondering, I don't know if maybe this is for certain, but possibly the low downforce package may be helping that team out. Maybe they weren't able to really get a grasp on the setup last year, and now the low downforce is helping them out. They're able to adapt to that one a little bit easier. Don't know.
In the race last year at Kentucky, which was the first race out of the 2 that they used the low downforce package, I do remember Rush Racing actually having one of their overall best performances of the year. I think like all 3 cars either finished or were running inside like top 15 or 20.
Right.
I think
so. That could definitely be a big thing. In fact, we're gonna just quickly branch off because Roush Fenway Racing's a 4 team. What are you guys' thoughts on this whole thing about Stewart-Haas Racing going to Fords in 2017?
That was the most shocking
Hold.
NASCAR news story I've heard in a while.
So they're apparently going to be exiting out of the alliance with Hendrick then.
Yeah, even
So
Jimmy
wasn't the
Johnson,
alliance with-
even Jimmy Johnson was like, "This is a shock."
Yeah, I mean, if you look, Kurt Busch had a win. He's had a
had a
couple of
championship
wins.
with Ford.
He had a couple of wins in his Chevrolet. Kevin Harvick won a championship.
Danica has done shit.
I mean, even when Ryan Newman drove the 39, he had success. So I don't know. I don't really understand Stewart-Haas making the move there unless they feel that there needs to be a second strong Ford team, because basically you've got Roush Fenway Racing, you do have Richard Petty Motorsports, but they're only a two-car team, so I'm not certain what the whole reasoning is behind it, unless the only thing I'm maybe wondering, and this may be wrong, but we just talked about how, and Charles, you alluded to it, the low downforce package at Kentucky, we ended up seeing Fords run good there. Tony Stewart ended up saying, I think it was, I don't remember if it was during the call that Jeff Gordon made to him during the 500 or what, but I remember Tony Stewart saying that the reason he didn't have success last year was he did not understand the car. He did not understand the setups that NASCAR had given to them. And maybe he saw that the Fords with the low downforce package, they're performing better, and maybe that's why he's making the move over to Ford. I don't know, because this is his last year, so he's not going to be getting in the car anyway in 2017. But maybe for his team's benefit, maybe he's seen the low downforce package works better with Ford Fusions than it does with Chevys. I don't know.
Maybe
Heard
Tony,
reports on apparently this was Tony Stewart apparently have been talking to Ford for actually the past 6 months. So apparently it was actually a really well kept secret. And mainly I've just seen reports of how this is all because of more financial support, I think.
Are Fords cheaper than Chevys?
I mean, I actually remember last year, Martin Spear and Virtual Racing, they went from Chevy to Toyota because Toyota kind of just gave them more financial support or whatever. So it could be the same thing for Stewart-Haas Racing.
Possible.
Is
Because it was just, everybody was thinking, is this true? Is it a rumor? And then it ended up coming out as being true, and it was just kind of like, why? It was like a universal question of why.
yeah,
look at it this way though. Two drivers for Stewart-Haas right now have experience in the Fords. Kurt Busch was with a Ford from 2000, from when he first started in trucks back in '99, I want to say, no, 2000, 2005. But now he's being reunited. Believe it or not, Kevin Harvick ran a Ford in 1999 in the truck series. So, two out of the four have experience running Ford. The other two don't.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. That's another thing I was thinking about when they talked about that move, because I was thinking, what prior experience in a Ford do these drivers have, and would they be able to make the adaptation? But, I mean, Kurt Busch, he won the 2004 championship?
yeah.
Driving a 97 Ford. So, maybe the transition's not going to be that difficult.
Unless they figure out first stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and you think about it too, Casey Kane, he'll be moving over to Stewart's Ride next season. Back when he drove for, what was the team even called? Was it Richard Petty Motorsports then? I don't remember. But when he drove the Budweiser number 9, that was a Ford.
That was Richard Petty Motorsports back in the day.
Was that Richard Petty Motorsports? Okay, I couldn't remember if they had made like a alliance with a team at some point.
It was Richard Petty Motorsports and Beach Racing.
Yeah, I thought they were teammates of the '98 at that point.
Yep, they merged with the '98. They had the 9, the 19, the 43, and the 98.
So looking here at Atlanta's starting lineup, is there any particular driver that you see that may have had a poor showing at the Daytona 500 that you're going to see step it up here in this race? Because we know it's early on in the season that a good finish after a poor finish is going to jump you up in the point standings a lot faster than if you get a good finish later on in the
Dale
season.
Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Jr.
That's good. I could have expected that.
Starting off 16th in the race. The one driver I'm looking at maybe that didn't exactly have the best of runs, but I think could maybe step it up would be Casey Kane, because I think that the 5 team really this season, they are the 4th team in that stable. The hype is in the Junior, Johnson, and Elliott camp, and I think Casey Kane this year we're going to see a little bit more aggression out of him, and I think that the Daytona 500 was an indication we're going to see a little bit more competitiveness out of him than we've seen the last couple of years. So I would look at Atlanta Motor Speedway and Casey Kane maybe.
It's possible.
Well, yeah, he got a win there in 2006 in the Cup Series. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to agree with Casey Kane too. I mean, I think he said during the offseason that he likes the low downforce package, and he was actually second fastest in opening practice behind Larson. So I think that's definitely a sign that I think Kane is going to be someone
Unfortunately, recognized.
a jump to the top towards the top of the standings. So I agree with you, Steph.
One thing I was looking at here, and it was kind of miffed me a little bit when I ended up finding out that there were only going to be 39 entries in this race, what with the charter teams and everything. But then I thought to myself, and I'll ask you guys this question, if we still had the 43-car grid, do you think there would have been teams that would have formulated trying to make the show, or would we still have just had these 39 drivers?
The charter system. The charter system has definitely had an impact on the way teams make their schedules, in my opinion. Because I think during the offseason there were a few teams that had to shut down or merge with other teams just so they could get a charter, I believe. So I think it's definitely had an effect. And overall, like, this whole charter system is just kind of like, I think there are indeed like some pros and cons, but all I can think about is just sort of like why. Like, why did this happen? Why was this necessary? That's where like that's kind of how I just mostly feel about this charter system, and the fact that we have less than 43 cars for just the second race of the season at a track that's not too far away from North Carolina. I think it definitely is kind of a sign of where NASCAR currently is and how the charter system is already working.
Yeah. I'm looking at the lineup here, and Brian Vickers didn't do too bad last week filling in for Tony Stewart in the 500. At one point, I think he was up as high as 5th place and was just riding around there. He was either 4th or 5th. But now we got Ty Dillon filling in the 14 for Atlanta.
Atlanta, Fontana, and Phoenix so far.
Yeah, so how are you guys seeing Ty Dillon filling in? Because I was looking for the Cheerios 95 and the 500. Didn't really see him up at the front too much. And that was obviously a ride out of Levine Family Racing.
With the Super Sport team.
So it wasn't exactly one of the stronger cars, but of course it was a restricted play race. Now he's in the 14 car. What are you guys thinking of? What kind of performance are we going to see out of him here at Atlanta?
More of the same. Typical Ty Dillon, probably running about mid-pack or so.
I
can see that.
I actually remember, like, last year, June Pocono in June, Michigan, he was actually he was driving for a part-time restricted racing car and in both of those races, he actually had like top 15, top 20 runs. In fact, I think in the June Michigan race, he was actually inside the top 10 for a good portion of that race. And with how few, and with very few starts that he's made, it's actually pretty impressive in my opinion. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ty Dillon can get like a top 20 team finish.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Ty Dillon in this season almost the kind of way I saw David Reagan last season. We know he's got the driving talent, just didn't have the ride to be able to show that talent. And the 14 car, I don't think it was necessarily the team itself as it was Tony Stewart. Like Stewart admitted, he wasn't able to really adapt to the rules package last year. I think Ty Dillon, he's got himself a good machine, and I think we could see him as well finish top 15, maybe be able to get a surprise top 10 finish because he's in the good equipment, and we know that he can race. So, I kind of see him like we saw David Reagan last year when he got into the 18 car. We saw him getting a lot better finishes and everything. I think that being in a team that we know can be competitive enough to battle for the win, not saying that he'd be able to with the drivers there in the field, but I think he could be a surprise finisher and maybe come away with a top 10 finish.
Possibly.
Right? I don't know. That was hope.
So out of the drivers battling for Rookie of the Year honors, all 5 of those rookies are going to be taking part in this race. Brian Scott's going to start 10th. Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott will start side by side, 23rd, 24th in row 12. Chris Buescher in row 16 and 31st. And Jeffrey Earnhardt will be starting 38th. Now, I know probably none of us are going to pick Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I don't know why. Hold on. I don't know why Dale Earnhardt did not pick Jeffrey into his own team. I
don't really know either.
I honestly think that Jeffrey has the talent. He just needs a good car.
Well,
Jeffrey, I think, is way more talented than his own father.
Kerry Earnhardt, that's a possibility.
well, the question I have is, why would Jeffrey Earnhardt be running for Rookie of the Season in a ride that he's not driving full time?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Bobby Labonte is going to be filling in 3 more races, the 3 remaining restrictor plate races, and I think there's a 3rd driver they're planning on putting in that car at some point. So Jeffrey's not going to be running all the races, whereas we know that Chase Elliott, Brian Scott, Chris Buescher, and Ryan Blaney, they're full-time rides for this season. So
That makes me mad, though. I think they should give Jeffrey Earnhardt a chance to race in the restricted plate tracks in that car.
well, I mean, I just don't get why it's a team that he's not going to be running all the races in that they decide that he's going to run for Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's basically like giving up before you've even started, as far as I'm concerned. Especially with the fact, too, going, kind of playing off of your point there, Michael, that it's not a strong team.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, like I was saying, we can basically, I don't think anybody's going to pick Jeffrey Earnhardt, but out of those 4, Brian Scott, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, who are you looking at to be Rookie of the race out of those 4? Because we've got a pretty good rookie battle with those 4 drivers.
Jeffrey Earnhardt. I'm just kidding. Probably Chase
Okay,
Elliott.
yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, thanks. Prove me wrong.
No, I think it'll be Chase Elliott.
I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
I'm going to have to go with Ryan Blaney, too. That 21 team, from what I remember last season, I think ran pretty well with the 21 car at Atlanta. I think they ran Atlanta, and I think they finished well. And from what I remember, too, Ryan Blaney's actually got a couple good finishes in Xfinity at Atlanta, too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, though, didn't Chris Buescher have... I'm trying to remember, did the swap with Kyle Busch and David Reagan take place before Atlanta last year?
Yes.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, I think Chris Buescher, if I'm not mistaken, think Chris Buescher finished top 15 at Atlanta last year in the 34. I might be wrong. I'll look and see.
Johnny Mitchell drove 34 at Atlanta and finished in the 30s.
I don't think Chris Buescher was in the Atlanta Cup race a year
No,
ago.
it was Joe Nemechek in the 34.
Oh,
Joe Nemechek
Nemechek was in the 34?
Yes, Joe Nemechek.
I,
Okay.
I don't think it was that year.
Joe
Oh, wait, was
Nemechek
that
in the
time when
34.
Nemechek wrecked Greg Biffle?
Yes, Nemechek in the 34. Reagan in
It
the
was.
18. Moffitt in the 55. There we go.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yep.
Hello. Wake up and keep me as a statistician, why don't you? Do I have to?
Johnny, I don't think you gave us who you were looking at for a rookie of the race.
No, I did not. I'm going to go with a sleeper. I'm going to go with Brian Scott.
Ooh, interesting.
Because it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Brian Scott.
Well, he's gonna be starting the highest of them, starting up there in the 10th position. So,
Well,
yeah, I don't think we should write Brian Scott off either. I think he's definitely still gonna be a competitor with Blaney and Elliott for sure.
Oh, God, I can't wait. Oh, this is gonna be. I can't wait for this week to go by so fast already. It's going by so fast. I can't wait for this. For the first week in March already.
Yeah, I know. All right, so now is the time when we're gonna try and help you guys out in putting together your fantasy team, and yeah, maybe I'll take my own advice this week. Anyway, let's go from left to right. So Charles, let's start with you. Give us a driver that you think is going to be the dominant driver, going to win the race. Who's the driver that you think we should stay away from in this event, and who's your sleeper pick?
The driver that I think is going to do well, or maybe I should say who I think is going to win. I'm going to go. I just have a feeling that he's on the pole. So I'm going to go with Kurt Busch. He's won at Atlanta 3 times, and so I think he's going to make it. For the sleeper pick that I think could be the surprise, well, based on qualifying, I'm actually this one could be. This is not my usual sleeper pick. Austin Dillon. He starts. And I think based on his qualifying, he could be a sleeper. The driver to stay away from, I'm gonna go with. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with Chris Buescher. I don't exactly know why, but the thing is, for some reason, I'm just looking at him and thinking he's gonna be all over the place.
Okay.
All right. Hang on, I gotta look at the hangout to even see who's the next one. I think it's Johnny. Yes, it is. Johnny, your picks.
If you're going from left to right, you mean Michael.
Well, my
Oh,
left to right.
Johnny.
Okay,
Yeah, Johnny.
shit. Ow. Okay, let's see here. Who did I? Oh yeah, my driver to win. I'm gonna go with this Toyota team. I'm gonna go with Kenza. Early off the bat.
Oh, boo, Kansas.
Here you, Michael.
No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, I'm gonna go with Kenza here, and then my sleeper, like I said, for rookie of the race, I'm gonna go with Brian Scott here. And then driver to stay away from. Ooh. I hate to admit it, I'm gonna go with one of the Dylans. No. What am I thinking? Yeah, I hate to say it, but he is my favorite. Well, he is my favorite. I'm gonna say for the first time, I'm gonna be saying this. Driver to stay away from at Atlanta. I hate to say it, I'm gonna say Brad Keselowski. I hate saying that, but
Interesting pick. I was just looking at driver averages. 7 starts for Keselowski at Atlanta. Only 1 top 5 finish. 21st place average finish.
yeah.
Interesting pick. All right, Michael.
No, it's you. You, Seth.
No, it's you because I'm the host and you're on my left.
Well, that's true.
Okay, guys.
M comes before S, so.
I
Alright.
don't care. Screw
No.
English.
Alright, my pick to win, I think, would probably be. I'm gonna go out with a long shot, and I'm gonna say Casey Kane. Okay, look at his past history with the car. With this car at this track in Atlanta, he's really good. My sleeper pick would probably be Dale Earnhardt Jr. One, because he runs good at Atlanta, but he just hasn't won in a while. So yeah, I'm looking for him to actually be up there. And the person to stay away from, or persons, plural people to stay away from, will be both of the Dillon brothers.
Hmm.
Yeah, that kind of hurt though when I said my favorite driver that I would stay away from, but
All right, I'm gonna be going. I was gonna go with Casey Kane as one of the drivers
But now
that
he's going to
won
go
the
with
race,
Casey
but
Mears.
no. Well, you took Casey Kane away, so I'm gonna have to go with the other guy that I was looking at, and that would be Jimmy Johnson.
Damn,
Um,
I thought you were going to
I
say
am
Kevin
Jimmy
Harvick.
Johnson. Boom,
in his
confetti.
last two starts, Jimmy Johnson has a win, and his other finish was a top 5. He's got an average place finish of 2.5. And then if you look at his career at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Jimmy Johnson has an 11th place average finish in 24 races, 4 wins amongst those. And the important thing, out of those 24 starts, he's only got 2 DNFs. So I think that with what we saw out of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Chase Elliott before the both of them spun at Daytona, Hendrick Motorsports obviously has figured out the low downforce package. I think Jimmy Johnson, with the combination of the success he's had at Atlanta, he's going to be the one to pick for the win. For my dark horse, I
Casey
think
Mears.
I'm going to. What?
Casey Mears.
I would like to go with Casey Mears, to be honest with you, but I'm going to have to go with Carl Edwards because last week was definitely, to me, a sleeper because his car was so doggone damaged, but he ended up finishing top 5. Carl Edwards has 3 wins at Atlanta. Who'll ever forget that duel he and Jimmy Johnson ended up having in the final stages that one time? And I think that with the run that Joe Gibbs Racing is on right now and Toyota as a whole, Toyota could end up finding a second driver in victory lane, and I'm going to say that it's going to be Carl Edwards before Matt Kenseth winning at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And my driver to stay away from, I'm going to branch off what Michael said, but I'm not going to say both the Dillons. I'm going to just say Austin Dillon, because Austin Dillon has only 3 starts at this track, but his average finish is 27th, and he has not even posted a top 10 in his starts there. So even though he qualified well, and I know that their program has been better, and I know their finishes have been better, I still think Austin Dillon would be one to stay away from, despite his strong qualifying run.
Another person I think that people should stay away from in this race is Casey Mears.
Another
Shots
person
fired!
that I think should be kicked from the call, Michael Norman.
Survey
Hey,
says.
I'll have you know, Casey Mears has an 18th place average finish in his last 2 starts. So he finished 15th one of those races. So yeah.
So that,
By the way, take a guess on who has the best average finish
Casey Mears,
at Atlanta since 1960.
Bobby Labonte.
No, actually, Bobby Labonte isn't even up there on the list. He's 24th. It's Eddie McDonald.
what?
Eddie McDonald, 1 race, 1 finish of 8th place.
What the fuck?
I gotta find out even what year that was.
Oh, good lord. Hold on.
1966. Girl, the number 89 for Buck Baker Racing started 13th, finished 8th on August 7th, 1966.
Oh, wow.
He's my pick to win, though.
No, just kidding.
Oh,
What-
man.
Morgan Shepherd has the 8th best average finish.
Let me see. 8th place average? Nobody else. Wow, Morgan Shepherd had a 15th place average finish in 33 starts there.
Yeah, but Morgan Shepherd wrecked somebody.
Hey! You're not even a Joey Logano fan. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I am.
You are?
Yeah, I like
Deal
Joey
with it.
Logano.
Why don't you
My
just...
two,
So
my
he-
two favorite
So he didn't
drivers
win
are
New Hampshire. What a shame.
My 2 favorite drivers are Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Joey Logano.
Oh.
I just don't get butthurt like a lot of Joey Logano fans.
I was gonna ask, is your least favorite driver Matt Kenseth now?
No, I know I Matt Kenseth's in my top 10.
Matt Kenseth and Brian Vickers.
Brian Vickers, I don't really care for. We all know how Trent feels about Brian Vickers.
Yeah.
We all know how he feels about Kevin Harvick too, which is funny.
I'm feeling kind of happy though right now about the new laptop I just ordered too. It matches. It's actually the same the old style Kozlowski blue scheme a little bit from 2011.
You know what I wish? I wish we could go back in time to 2010 at this time, 2010, and listen to how Trent reacts for January winning the Daytona 500.
You could do that. You could go back to 2010. I would go back to 1996 at North Wilkesboro. The last race there.
No, I just want to go back and hear Trent's reaction. We all didn't know each other back in 2010.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Sean started doing his live streams of the big races until 2012.
Yeah.
We need to do that again. We need to get off our lazy butts and start doing live streams for big races.
Well, the big problem for me is, with being in a live stream, I usually watch my races on my laptop via live stream, and so I'm usually like 30 seconds to a minute behind everybody else.
Set up a TV.
I don't have cable or satellite.
Sad.
I had to go to my uncle's house to watch the 500.
Man, you know what? When's your next birthday?
August.
Okay, in August, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to install cable, and I'm going to buy you a 60-inch television for your room.
I could probably take care of the 60-inch television myself. I can usually get one for $15 at an auction.
60-inch? A huge
Yeah.
fucking big screen?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, I'm paying. Well, then I'll also get you set up on cable then.
Okay. We must be at it.
I'm just gonna show up at your house. And your parents are like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm a friend of
I actually have like one question that I actually don't want to forget, but we've talked about it a little bit in this chat. What are your expectations for the low downforce package? Do you feel like Atlanta has the potential to be one of the best races of the season?
I hope so. I wanted to go back to how it used to be back in 2000, 2001.
Well,
Right.
the thing that I'm liking about it, and Chris Rice brought this up on NASCAR.com, was with it being a low downforce package, especially with a track like Atlanta, there's going to be a tremendous search for grip. And what I like is that drivers actually have to work towards making a good handling race car. Rather than, with if it's, say, it's nighttime conditions, they're like, oh, this car handles really well, and they just battle it out that way. I like the strategicness of, with being a low downforce package, that they're going to be slipping and sliding around trying to find grip somewhere. And to me, with that happening, we're going to hopefully see, a third, fourth line, maybe on the high side, come into play, and maybe set up for another of those good Atlanta finishes with the low line versus the high line.
I think for me, my expectation is that I think that there will always be those blah, or should I say boring moments, but hopefully what will hopefully happen is that during green flag runs, and hopefully in this case I actually hope that OD have some longer green flag runs, because I think the longer the green flag run is, the better the racing is going to be, because with Atlanta having such an abrasive surface, you're going to have the drivers really fighting the cars, and I think that's going to actually lead to some good side-by-side racing. So I actually think, so I do believe that Atlanta is going to be one of the best races of the season.
We can see that. I can see that happening.
One thing too I was thinking of is we didn't see, and I'm glad we didn't, but we didn't see a green-white checkered finish at Daytona. How much of green-white checkers do you think we're going to see even utilized this season?
I hope not a lot, because this new stupid green-white checker rule, I hate it.
Are they enforcing that line thing for
I think
unlimited starts at every
I think
track, or was it just Daytona?
Yeah.
I think
Every
it's
track.
Every track.
Huh.
just for super speedways.
Yeah, I thought it might be just for Daytona, because I don't know. Are they going to put a line along every back straightaway?
It's going to depend on the track, but with a track like Atlanta, I'm certain it's going to be on the back stretch. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
would be interesting for road courses where they put it.
Right.
All the way in the backstretch.
But yeah, Watkins Glen's repaid now, so that's around in August.
Yeah, but think about it. When was the last time we had a green and white checkered at a road course?
Watkins Glen 2014.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't there one where Gordon got pushed out of line at the end of one of them?
Yeah.
Damn, I was thinking like 2002, but Jesus.
Looking to see here if there's any
Reference of it?
other stories so we can finish off with. I'm not really seeing any.
Well, I know President Kennedy had a double header today. Well, that's something. But, oh,
Oh yeah, we ended up having our 2017 Hall of Fame
inductees list.
inductees or nominees announced.
Yeah.
I thought it was 20. What about 2016?
They already had it in 2016.
Yeah, they already happened.
GG.
Where the fuck have I been?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
When the hell did that happen?
was it Beckman?
Yeah, I think so. So Ron Hornaday Jr., Jack Roush, Ricky Rudd, Waldell Wilson are, I guess, the new names in there for inductees. I'm actually kind of surprised that Ron Hornaday Jr. is already
In that.
in there. Roush, I'm not surprised about. Ricky Rudd, we haven't seen since
Why not Jeff
2007. So
Yes. 2007 out. Homestead.
Why not Jeff Gordon?
He'll be
Jeff
there.
Gordon has to wait like another 2 or 3 years.
yeah,
He'll be there.
Of the
He'll
role.
be inducted, I know it.
trying to see if they even have here. Okay, let's see. Uh, wait, are these people that are in or not in yet? Oh no, okay. These are the nominees: Red Byron, Richard Childress, Ray Everham, Ray Fox, Rick Hendrick, Ron Hornaday, Harry Hyde, Alan Kulwicki, Mark Martin, Herschel McGriff, Raymond Parks, Benny Parsons, Larry Phillips, Jack Roush, Ricky Rudd, Ken Squire, Mike Stefanik, Waldo Wilson, Robert Yates, H. Clay Earls.
Hispanic? I thought we just saw him race in 2011.
I'm trying to figure out why Ken Squire is eligible, but okay. Janet Guthrie, Raymond Parks, Ralph Seagraves. Wait, they got Ken Squire listed twice. What the heck?
They're really pushing Ken Squire.
Yeah.
They got Ken Squire listed twice on this list.
I think it should be Ken Squire, Benny Parsons, Alan Kulwicki, Rick Hendrick,
Jack Roush.
Jack Roush, and one more.
Childress?
No. Yeah, I guess. Richard Childress.
I definitely want to see Benny Parsons get in this year.
VP was one of my favorite announcers.
Yeah. Yeah, Benny Parsons was on there when I first started watching, because the one channel that usually I was able to get, we didn't even have cable, but we were so high up that we were able to get a radio towers channel, and it was NBC, and NASCAR and NBC. Benny Parsons was like one of the first commentators I ever heard.
I remember somewhere on YouTube they have a segment of BC teaching.
But what are your guys' opinion on Jeff Gordon's commentating skills so far?
His accent though, because he's from California, let's not forget that though, but it's okay.
He's not bad, but I have noticed quite a number of flaws. He constantly during I don't remember if it was, I think it was practice for the Can-Am duels. The whole time he kept saying tonight at the Unlimited, and I thought, Jeff. I actually tweeted Jeff Gordon. I said, I tweeted him. I said, Jeff, it's the Can-Am duels, not the Unlimited.
It,
Well,
it,
that's okay. That was his first. That was his first. Fuck, I can't talk.
it's nice to have someone enter the box booth who has just come off of being behind the wheel. I think it brings a whole new perspective. And Jeff Gordon, in compared to someone, say, like Darryl Waltrip, he's raced against drivers like Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin. So Jeff Gordon, I think, has a better idea on what their driving styles are, etc. So I like that, but he's not, in my opinion, like he's nowhere near like the greatest announcer of all time.
To prove your point, Charles, and my dad, when we were watching the 500, pointed this out. Jeff Gordon called the move of the race. He said Hamlin's going to be the guy that steps out, and when they got off turn 2, Darrell Waltrip's like, they're not going to get a run. They're not going to get a run. Jeff Gordon's like, yeah, they are. They're going to get a run on the outside line. And what happened? Denny Hamlin got the huge run on the outside line. So, to your point, he's just gotten out of the race car. He's raced with these guys. He knows what they're capable of.
Oh my god. Oh dear lord.
What?
So to kill me because I'm for online today. Think if I took off into the
By the way, I'm going to use it. Still have that app? It does have that app. Okay, let's see. See if it even shows up.
What app?
Okay, let's see. Is it gonna do it, or is it not gonna show it?
Presenting to everybody, and I don't see it.
It's not showing it. Hang on.
oh boy.
Ah, I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay, hold on. Let me try it again. I tried to screen share. And oh, I think I know why it didn't show up. All right, share. Is it showing up at all?
I see something.
There's the tweet I posted to Gordon.
There we go. Yep, I saw it. There we go. There we go.
I was like, I just gotta see if maybe he'd reply back. He never did, but oh well. All right, so I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week's edition of NASCAR Talk. Where are we even going next week? Anybody know?
Las Vegas.
Is it Las Vegas?
It's always been Las Vegas. Las Vegas has always been the third race of the season.
Well, yeah, but I'm so used to the second race of the season always being Auto Club, so I didn't know if they've changed the whole thing up or
Oh,
something.
by the way, one breaking news here. Bubba Wallace Jr. had a win with the police this morning.
Wait, what did he do?
I got a thing on my phone. It says I'm in the NASCAR history 2013 page. It says one Xfinity driver had a run-in with the police this morning, and it has a picture of Bubba Wallace.
Oh.
Gotta read it to make sure.
Yep,
A lot
I'm
of them
doing
are
the contact
bleeding.
now, and I'll tell you guys more after it loads up. Because the thing is, when I'm trying to do things on my laptop, it makes it lag. Not on my phone. Yeah. Okay, here we go. It says, let's see here. Oh. No, Ryan C. Ryan C got caught. Ryan Sieg got caught.
Hmm.
That's his current situation. 10 minutes until qualifying. He tweeted this. He was like, current situation. 10 minutes until qualifying. He won't get to his drive to the track. Hashtag NASCAR. With Ryan Sieg, and says he qualified 8th for today for the Xfinity race. And he told the reporter that he got a warning from the police officer and he wasn't seeing how fast he was going. So I'm probably guessing he was going about 120.
Ooh.
So what happened? I didn't hear him clearly.
Ryan Sieg got pulled over by a police officer on the way to the track for Xfinity Series qualifying.
Wow. He still qualified 8th.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week. I want to thank Charles, Johnny, and Michael for joining me for this week. Appreciate it.
No.
Uh,
Always
next
fun.
next week on Saturday, we'll discuss the results of tomorrow's Atlanta race, and of course, be looking forward to Las Vegas. And if anybody ever wants to join us on this, there's no set time. The last 2 weeks have actually been late morning on Saturdays, but there's no set time of when on Saturday morning these things start. But if you want to join us, all you got to do is get in touch with me during the week on Facebook, or you can comment down below here or something. The big problem for me, for people that watch this stream that may want to join, is for some reason, I don't know if it's because of my Google Chrome, me not having a Windows 10 update or something, so there's no support for Google Chrome on Windows 7, but I cannot, during the live stream, see people's comments on this video, so I don't see it until afterwards, after it's posted. So if you people are asking to join the stream or get a link for it or something, I'm unable to give it to you. One thing I might start doing starting next week is actually put the link to this stream uh, in the description of the video. We'll see if maybe I can do that, so that way people that want to join but can't get in touch with me on Facebook will be able to do that. But if you do have Facebook and you want to join, you can always contact me on Facebook, and I'll send you the link to invite you to the stream. So aside from that, anything you guys want to say?
Well, if you want me to help you out with that stuff, I got Windows 10, so I can help you out with that.
Oh, and you can see the comments on the stream?
Yeah?
Oh, okay, that would work. Yeah, because for some reason it always says this. I don't know if it's app or something is disabled.
Well, Windows 7 is being unsupported soon, so...
Yeah, exactly. I think Google Chrome no longer gets updates if you own Windows 7.
The Windows 10 gets updates, and yeah, I have no problem seeing stuff like that, so...
Okay.
And currently I'm in the process of ordering another laptop, which I will be debuting for the new NASCAR Talk next week.
Cool.
With a little help from Seth, I'm going to use my sonic screwdriver to end the stream.
Sonic boom! But the thing is about my laptop that I'm getting, it's Kozlowski's 2011 blue look, and I'm also getting the Kozlowski mouse.
Cool.
So, you guys are in for a nice surprise. I'm going to be taking pictures of it as soon as I get it in the mail from my mom. So, yeah.
All right.
I can't wait.
So that wraps it up for this week. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week on NASCAR Talk. Bye.
Later.
Glad to be here. Later.